They released a development blog about it.
What game?
Colony survival. And so or the people behind it were talking about how when we first came up with this game, like it just started out like he just made a voxel engine, and then it was just supposed to be this whole idea like, oh, we got this voxel game that you just have people and they just craft stuff and they farm stuff and they do this stuff for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then, like as they're developing, they kind of realize that you kind of need a purpose, like something to do. Because like, what's the
Right.
point of building up this colony and putting in these colonists and setting up these production lines and setting up these like because there's also gonna be a lot of logistics, and so he really wants because they're talking about now they kind of want to put in a logistics system. And I think that's a little bit cool, and I was also kind of thinking about that, and I thought about actually making a post and say, cause you're talking about logistics, like what are you talking about? You're talking about like where like we're now gonna have to have runners that actually move the materials around the colony, and so like it's not everything's gonna be accessible from the same crate. Like, are we have to have different types of crates? Like, is there gonna be like silos now that I have to? Like, I think that's actually kind of cool. Like, I got this this wheat farm, and now I have to have this silo where I store all my wheat,
Mm-hmm.
and then that means I now have to like more specialize my zones because right now I just got my wheat and my barley and my cabbage all just thrown together.
See, I feel like I saw this game a long time ago, and it was like basic, like you were talking about. Because I'm looking at it now, and I don't remember seeing like any of this stuff, like the last time I looked at it.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of like really excited for like the potential that this has, and then
I'm
also
gonna
like
add it to my wish list.
mods and stuff. I mean, I'm playing it right now, and I'm also by the way, I'm also just streaming. If you just want to like look at it, and I can show you around. But like, because I was actually talking about earlier, what because I haven't played in several months, and I was like, you know what, I just really want to build a castle and all this other shit. I'm trying to think. I made this too small.
It says this broadcaster is offline.
What?
Fuck you, John.
What?
Fuck you.
What?
You lied. You lying son of a bitch.
Oh, I closed out. I didn't. Hold on. 1 second. Uh.
Did
Oh,
you know
man.
that the guy Dave Filoni, who did The Mandalorian, also did Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I did not.
Isn't that impressive?
That is impressive.
Impressive. Most impressive.
I'm live. That's weird.
On Steam?
Oh shit. Am I not on Steam? Did I not? Am I? Yeah, I'm on Steam and I'm Twitch. Twitch is live.
Oh, you're on. You didn't say Twitch, you motherfucker.
The no. But I was talking about like a lot of the shit that they had, like
What's
they
your What's your Twitch thing?
what is my Twitch name? Lord War Ostrich.
Not Mighty War Ostrich?
No.
Jesus fucking Christ.
But
Lord War Ostrich,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Not World War Ostrich.
Well, yeah, never know.
Oh, people can. Nobody's watching anyway.
Exactly, it doesn't really matter. Plus, I'm pretty sure I'm marked, so you can say whatever you want. Actually, I actually don't know what the stuff is. I don't know what profanity is allowed, what's not allowed.
As I don't. Well, we're not allowed to say.
Certain
I
known
can
words.
say it to explain it to you, but not to like call you the name. You're not allowed to say virgin or
Wait, what?
simp or incel anymore.
Really? Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a
Or
good
at
thing.
least you're not allowed to like call people that.
Uh,
And obviously you can't say like big racist stuff.
yeah. What was I? Oh, so it used to be, and I'm kind of glad they got rid of this. It was way too complicated. It used to be like, so like all the different foods would have like calorie counts, and so like you'd have to adjust the slider how many calories you wanted your colonists, and like the more calories you fed them, obviously like the happier they could be.
They don't get rotund though, do they?
They don't.
They're
Um,
too pixelated. They're too voxelated.
that and then you had to then manipulate other sliders to determine what foods counted for how much of those calories. So like berries were worth so many calories, and then so it that was just way too complicated and frivolous.
Why are you like an actual guy and not just like god moding?
Because you're an actual guy, you get killed because you're
You
the
have to build all that shit as just a guy?
yeah. Well, I have to build it. I mean, most of the stuff like this all stuff is jobs I put down. That's what these. Well, now you can see them, but these blue boxes
Oh,
is where I've
okay.
outlined jobs. I can also have them. A lot of the stuff that I had them dig out once I could, because I'm an idiot and built on the side of a mountain and not on top of it.
Well, I mean,
So all of
yeah.
this I've had them dig out, and now oh they're done digging that out. Now I'm gonna have them put down
Shouldn't you
grass.
build a wall?
There's a wall for when I dig
Where?
more stuff. This right here. For when I dig
That's
more of this
that's
out.
not a wall, they'll just fall over it.
The zombies that attack only can move too high.
Okay, well that's not high. What?
Oh, they can't move too high. That's what I mean. So you can also just dig a trench, and they can't get around the trench because zombies just can't jump. They can't jump. They can swim,
What
which is
are there
slightly
other
annoying.
monsters though?
Currently, not yet. Apparently, so this is the thing that they were talking about today, because they're like, "Oh man, we kind of got to." Because what's the whole point of just expanding to expand, right? And it's like, well, then what's the whole point of city skylines then, right? It's
Well,
just to get bigger.
why is your trench like 10 wide and not just like 3 wide?
What do you mean, my trench?
Didn't you just build more of a trench over there?
No, I'm planting grass now, or I'm having them lay down grass so that I can.
Where's your trench?
Well, I don't have a trench. I mean, I do. There is a trench, but I'm
Oh
just saying
my
I could.
god.
I could just build a trench. I don't have to build a wall. I can just build a trench, and I have one over here because I was too lazy to build a wall. So who do I look like? Donald Trump? Oh wait,
I'm
he
putting
didn't
it
build a
on the
wall either.
record.
Ha 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 ha. Like my little shop. Anyway, but currently right now there's only zombies, and so you also have to set up defenses. I actually need to finish this side of the castle. So up here some. So, oh, I just actually have the one archer over here, but here's an archer. He shoots bows and arrows.
It shoots bows and arrows.
Exactly. So currently there's four different types of defenders. You have these orange dudes, which are archers. The guy in black here is a crossbow man.
Why are they looking like at the inside of the castle?
Because this is where so the zombies have to follow this path that I built. It's kind of part tower defense, right? These gray dudes are slingers. They're the
Why don't you
first.
just build a trench?
Oh, because they well, I can't just build a trench around it because then the zombies get pissed and then they start destroying stuff.
Not if they're in the trench.
Which actually is a fair point. I'm not entirely sure what would happen if I just dug a trench all the way around, because apparently, like, zombie activity increases, and I think that starts them, like, also spawning inside your safe zone or something. I'm not entirely sure.
Oh.
because I've never really wanted to. Or they attack the wall. I don't know. I don't know
What
what all
is
they
the
do.
cream colored guy?
He is a matchlock.
Oh, he's got a gun.
Yeah, he's got a matchlock, so he shoots. He shoots guns. He shoots.
Gonna shoot them zombie motherfuckers.
And so I have. So those are the four type of defenders. So what they announced today is that what they're currently investigating and looking about doing, because they don't know how they're going to do it or what it's going to look like if they do it, is I've gotten lost multiple times in my castle, which means it
Yeah, I was
works.
about to say the layout of your castle is fucking insane. What like I don't only you could design something like this. Olivia?
I was totally stealing multiple different pictures of multiple different Japanese castles to come up with this design, and I'm pretty sure I made it too small. I totally made the dimensions too small.
It looks like four different castles all smushed together, so I believe that.
um, I definitely should have made it bigger, but at the same time, this was kind of a trial run. Because I was also thinking about trying to doing this in Conan, but the problem with Conan is you can't alter terrain in Conan,
Oh.
and so this is I have to find like the perfect spot to build a castle. But anyway, so the
Do
idea is
you
that
have a gun?
hmm
Do you have a gun or a bow?
I don't. I can grab one, but I don't want to.
I mean, why aren't you helping?
I don't need to help. I set all this
What
up
do you
so that
mean?
they.
How do you know you have enough guys?
Because either it's gonna work and none of the zombies are gonna reach the banner, or they're gonna reach a banner and I'm gonna get pissed and then I'm gonna have to start posting more guards somewhere.
That's why you should help them out.
I mean, I think part of the point is I don't have to help them out. I shouldn't have to help them out. They should be able to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. This is
I
this is
mean,
this is
what
this
if they
is
break through? What if they get your banner?
well, then a colonist is gonna die.
Jesus.
But they're like, oh man, we shouldn't just expand for expansion's sake. And like same thing, because like the whole idea is so like the world is actually split up into four different zones. So I start in the old world, and then there's the Far East, the tropics, and then the New World.
Hmm.
And then each like they have different resources. So there used to be a happiness thing, but they kind of took it away. And to really keep maximizing happiness and to be able to continuously expand, because I think there was this whole mechanic like some of the more higher level jobs like needed resources because that makes sense to how a lot of those things work. But like now they just changed everything into this point system where as they dole out um, food and luxury goods, I get points that I can then use to spend here. This colony point thing that upgrade parts of my colony. Um, but if I want to get stuff like paper, so if we look at science, um, to make writing, and then eventually the printing press, like I'm going to I mean to get paper, I'm going to need to get papyrus, and I have to go to the tropics to get that. And then coffee. My colonists could totally use some coffee, but to get that, I have to go to the New World. I don't remember what the Far East get offers, other than being the Far East. I think there's other
Probably
stuff.
spice
There we go.
and hashish.
I can't actually, because there are jobs. There's Far East jobs specific to the Far East region, the New World, and the Tropics region, but I have to go there to figure out what they are. Because I think they do grow different resources, so it isn't
Sugar
just.
cane.
Oh yeah, but it's not just berries and wheat and barley and chickens.
Can you make beer?
I don't think so. I don't know if I can or not. That would make a lot of sense.
I mean, you have barley.
But the barley's for the chickens. In fact, that's the only use for the
Uh,
barley is to feed the chicken farms. I need the chicken farms for the meat and the feathers. I need the feathers to make arrows. I need the meat to make the better food. Which is the big
you're not
difference.
you're not vegetarian.
No. They like because they changed over to this meal system now where your cooks and everything like they produce. I mean, they were always producing meals, but now like each colonist has a meal a day that you provide to them, and then so they need a meal. So I need to be able to produce enough meals to support my 190 colonists, and then it takes 8 meals to recruit a new colonist. So I have plenty of
Hmm.
surplus right now, so I can totally expand, which is part of the reason why I'm having them plant all that grass. Because I want to expand out on this side, even though I think that's as far as I really want to go. But I want to put more houses and shit and more farmland down there.
Look at all these followers.
And but I was also working on this end because this is the where the gate is supposed to go. I was trying to figure this out. I think I had an idea last night, and then I totally forgot it because it was last night and I went to bed. Because I'm trying to figure a way to where I can still make an area safe for my colonists to come over here and dig some of this shit out, while also like so that I don't have to do it, but still leave room for the zombies to come in and be perfectly fine. Because if I don't, they get pissy. Because I do want to put like a terrace or something out here. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Terrorists.
Yeah, I don't know. So I think part of the idea was I was going to sort of start digging this way and then have a ramp leading up, and then this was going to be the
Why don't you
colonist
just build
side.
it completely underground?
I sort of did that once, and then I ended up building a monastery on top.
Start building like a cave ceiling over your entire thing.
I pretty much could of how much I've had because that down there is the minerals. I have dug a lot, and
Yeah,
this is the big problem of where me putting this on
easy.
the side of a mountain instead of on top of it. But I also, I mean, part of that was I wanted to be close to this water so that I could have a little fishing village. So I could have fishermen, even though that ended up being like a huge annoyance because, like, as long as there's a block for them to get up to, like that's all they do for swimming. So I thought, oh well, if I just build a little fence thing, the zombies can't get up. Well, they can. It's really weird. Like zombie swimming, so it makes it very hard to do anything beachside, and like because a big part like so you have fishermen and water gatherers, and they are way faster at fishing and gathering water, and also fishermen can also get lobster. Because I can also just build a fish
Ooh.
farm, and I also just have water pumps, but they're way slower for whatever reason. Just I guess to balance it out and like force you to be near water, and that's also kind of shitty because the fact that like because the water is so dangerous. It's a huge threat to the colony, and it's kind of super annoying. Actually, wait, I don't worry about this right now. I think what I want is for the gate to come in this direction, and I think I want this to kind of wrap around so that when they come into the gate, they have to, of course, walk in front of my defenses, and then also have. So I gotta start working on having them dig all of this. Oh, but at least I can make them do it. I don't have to do it because I really don't want to do it. I have to say that the digging and construction jobs are probably my two favorite. What
I
you
don't
think?
know why, but Facebook has been recommending me like powwow videos,
Powwow
just like
videos.
over and over and over again, like Native American powwows
Okay.
where they have like dancing, like dance competitions. They're cool though. Like I watch them. That's probably why I keep getting recommended.
Probably.
I don't mind though.
Shit, dog. I mean, we got to watch at Camp Kataga. They'd have Native American dancers.
Where?
Camp Kataga for the Boy Scouts. They'd come in and
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
do demonstrations. And then also for the Order of the Arrow ceremonies. Which, I mean, looking back, that's a little iffy.
That sounds problematic.
I mean, when they come in, they drum and dance, and then we induct new people into them. Anyway,
John, did you wear a headdress and put
no,
on brown face paint?
no, I don't
You
know
could,
if
you
if
could admit it if you did.
well,
Canceled.
I am. Cause what was I was talking about. As I went out to Da Vinci's Wade and we were talking. Oh, yeah, he was talking about how we made a joke that cause I mentioned because with well I was talking about how it's kind of unfair that and kind of shitty that how hard it is for convicted felons to get jobs.
Yeah.
Because I'd mentioned that because we were just talking about the restaurant industry and how it sucks to work in it. It sucks to work in a kitchen, and like the only people who work in it are Hispanics and like convicted felons and drunks and addicts and stuff like that, right? Because it's really shitty work, and it's just about
Yeah.
the only job they're gonna get. And I said, it's really shitty because like once a person gets out of jail, like they should be able to vote. They should be able to like, especially nonviolent felons should be able to own firearms again, and like they should
Hmm.
be able to get a job because they paid their debt to society. Like that was the whole point of putting them in jail. It's super shitty when you disenfranchise people. And so he was talking about how and it was talking about like the stuff that you could do as a governor, and I was like, well, yeah, governors, they have executive orders, and governors can pardon, and then so we made this. He was talking about how, you know what, um, just every 7 years we just pardon everybody, just pardon everybody.
Debt jubilee.
Yeah, just have a jubilee,
I mean, they should. I mean, they should. Like with debt, yeah, for sure.
just every 7 years. I mean, obviously there would be
Unironically,
exceptions. There should be exceptions. Like obviously like serial killers and I mean capital offenses. Obviously you shouldn't just pardon those willy nilly.
right? I mean, like people who are like serial murderers or like serial rapists need to be um
People that
separated in a appropriate way.
yeah, it's just I say that because capital offenses obviously are ones where people would be put to death because it's just like you're removing them from society, and we no longer have to do that, right? Because we have prisons that are capable of holding people, and we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to execute people. I mean, I think execution, like, I could get in a whole thing about the death penalty, right? But I'm not going to. But um, like non-violent offenders and like just most people who are currently in prison, just let them out. And I was like, yeah, as the governor, you could do that. I mean, it'd be political suicide because like that's supposed to be the balancing factor for pardoning because like it's an absolute power, right? You can pardon
Do it
anyone.
just do it on your last term.
Well, yeah, but
Like
it's
Larry Hogan in Maryland, he can only like run for 2 terms, so he's in his like last year of his last term, I think. Flax, are they making some like really really rough clothing? It's just
uh,
really itchy.
well, I need linen,
Yeah,
and
linen is supposed to be itchy.
I need linen so I can make a glider. But the problem is apparently my
Glider.
yeah, that's how I get around. I'm kind of hoping that there's gonna be other transportation options. Right now, chickens are
Uh,
technically the only animal in the game.
they need to add a horse and buggy.
And I very much like to see them to add other animals like horses and pigs and cows, and so you actually do a whole bunch of farming, like actual farms. I mean, and this is the chickens right here. All they is a coop.
There.
And look how tiny the chicken coop door is compared to this person.
Those, I mean, they could be quails. I wouldn't. They're probably not chickens.
Like,
Oh, sorry, not quails. Cornish hens.
I think like the door is an appropriate size for the hen or for the house if the house was just a lot bigger. Like if there's just one of these instead of four of them, which would make I think a lot more sense. But I mean, how these guys work? Because you see, they're checking. They have to run through these cycles, and I think all the cycles are the same. So there's a lot of people who've done a lot more math than I have on how to be most efficient with your dudes. Um,
Cornish game hen. They're very small chickens.
yeah, but isn't that like the fun part? Because then if you have a little like a dinner party, everyone can get their own hen.
Yeah, they're like individualized.
So yeah, I have all these villagers, and I just have to provide a bed for them and then feed them. Oh, I hope that's not problematic. He was working. I was actually really cool. He was talking about so they kind of want to put this logistics system in, and he was talking about how he had been playing. What he had been playing? Kingdoms and Castles, right? And like that game can get pretty ridiculous as your kingdom gets bigger, right? And he's like, I don't really want to. I want to have logistics. I think it'd be cool. I don't know if I want to be like that crazy. And I was like, that's fair. That's fair. That's a pretty crazy game. But he had actually thought of like using guilders, so which is like I think a Dutch currency. But I think they're actually based in. I think they're Dutch. The people developing this game. I think they're based in the Netherlands, or at least one of them is. Uh, and so like, and to do that, everything would be like would use this system where they calculate the value of the labor and like the resources and materials by guilders and like the time. I think he abandoned this idea because it's kind of crazy, but I think it would work. It sounded really
That
awesome.
sounds cool.
So like your workstation would look for resources based upon like time of delivery, and then everything would calculate into guilders, and so then it would look like what would be the most cost effective source for what I need. Like I'm the oh shit, like I'm the bread maker. I obviously need wheat. Where's the
Mhm.
cheapest and best place to get the wheat? And then like through invention of like new technology and like new because I guess they would be adding transportation technology, and like that's the thing I'm like really interested in how he's going to do this, because it's like, so you're going to add all this shit in, but like, does that mean we're now going to have Teamsters?
Yeah, and then you can add capital. You can have like the dead labor
But like,
that
so
vampire like sucks the living labor.
but I mean, are we gonna have a Teamster job? And so one of my colleagues gonna be a Teamster, and he's have to go to like between different stations and just move shit around my colony? Because I mean, right
Yeah,
now,
why not? Why
I
not?
mean, yeah, which is fine, right? That'd be cool because that adds a whole like another depth and layer to trying to figure this out. Instead of where I'm just throwing down
Logistics.
these crates, right? So I don't where I place them so where they can kind of have a place to go to drop off the material. Like so they gather so much until their inventory is full, and then they go to a crate and they deposit it. And then once it's in a crate, it's then accessible to like anywhere. So like the bakers, they just have to go to a crate and get the material out of them. And so, but in this new thing, if they had implemented this system or whatever, it would have. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just do 10, 9, 10. So the problem is there's zombies. I'd be careful.
Your stream schedule is for March.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't think I really kept to. I think for a while, once the pandemic hit, I thought, oh man, I'm totally gonna just start streaming.
From like a year ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know. I
Almost
know.
one almost the 1 year anniversary.
I know. And
We're
but it
gonna be
just.
wearing masks for the rest of our lives.
I mean, I feel like to an extent, like we probably should have been wearing masks this entire time, especially during flu season. I feel
Honestly, we probably should be wearing masks at least for like the winter months or like
because
November to February.
that was something apparently the school nurse and one of the teachers was talking about was, one of the things that they kind of noticed was like, hey, like there's not a whole lot of flu going around this year. I
Right.
was like, yeah, huh, I wonder why that is. Is it just because, the fact that everyone's been stuck inside? Or is it because wearing masks? The fact that everyone's actually washing their hands? Stuff that we should be doing all the time anyway during the flu season. And like the big chances, like, yeah, like all of that. It's all of it. Like,
Yeah, so like the thing with the flu is way harder to like contract than like coronavirus. So like the masking is like absolutely gonna like crush like flu and like regular cold transmission. So people are like, well, where are all the flu deaths? I thought there was gonna be the flu. It's like, well, like we're wearing masks now, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
yeah, there's just a lot of people who just don't know how to read data. That is something I have
Or
I've been
they
quick
just
to find
they
out.
don't know how to interpret it. It's like they think, oh, well, COVID deaths are going down. That means I can go eat in public again with like 10 other
Yeah.
people.
Did you hear what Justice did?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so now which is kind of funny.
It's not. This is why it's never gonna go away, because every time the cases start to go down, they're like, "Oh, well, I guess we can open back up and get everyone sick again." It's like, oh, jeez. One of the highest, like for COVID deaths, one of the highest like fatality job positions is actually line cook.
Yeah, I saw that. I think you posted that on your Facebook,
Yeah.
right?
I suspect that that could be because line cooks tend to be male, and um they probably tend to be a little bit older, not like in their 50s, but maybe their 30s, and they probably smoke. So they have a couple factors.
I'm kind of looking at this. I mean, I like the system, so it goes like slingers and
Get
then
your gun out,
bows.
dude. Help them out.
Slingers, bows, crossbows, guns. And that like that kind of makes some sense. And I kind of want to now write an abstract um, or some sort of short essay. I guess it would have been an abstract. I don't know why I said that. A short essay about how different range weapons actually worked. Because slingers obviously are the fastest, and they're also I think just the cheapest because you just need stone, and I got gobs of stone. I really should actually be upping my slingers probably. But they don't. They also are like the weakest, and I think to an extent. And this is something I was talking about on on one of my earlier streams, and someone actually was watching and asked a question about it, like, oh, how many like matchlock stuff you use? And I said, well, I don't actually use a whole lot because they're really not efficient. I usually use them in towers, like up there, because they have the larger sight lines, and
Mhm.
the matchlocks have the largest range, which also just doesn't make any sense. Unless like they're the big, huge, like I will grant them if they're the big siege guns, like the big wall guns, like the
Uh-oh.
actual arquebuses from like
Yeah.
that actually would hook into like they you would actually mount them on the walls. And actually, that was an idea I had today. I was like, that'd be really cool. That instead of just placing like that square down that I did, if I actually had to place the matchlock,
Hmm.
and so they actually have like this little turret thing, like that would actually make a lot of sense. Um, but I usually stick them in towers because that way, um, and on corners and stuff because for them to actually do their max amount of DPS, like the zombies have to stay in sight for long because they have the longest reload.
Yeah.
Um, so since they have the longest reload for do the max damage, they of course have to stay in sight for the longest. So that's why I stick them in towers. I think crossbows are probably, to be honest, probably the best. I don't have a whole lot of crossbows because I don't really need to get my steel production up higher because it takes iron and steel to make the crossbow bolts. Um, And then of course archers. I have tons of arrows, so I also use a lot of archers. But which archers are pretty good because they'll one shot normal zombies, and it takes like 2 or 3 shots to kill the green ones. It's the red ones that of course cause the trouble, which is why of course you need the handgunners and the crossbows. But I was thinking of writing this whole thing about how like well in actuality like bows really wouldn't be that slow, especially short bows. And like slingers really wouldn't be that weak. Why are you going off duty? Oh, he must be going to get food. Why are you going to get food?
Well, I mean, they have to create some variety.
I
It's not going to
know.
be necessarily realistic.
I mean that doesn't. I mean it doesn't necessarily really bother me. I just thought it'd be fun. I think it opened up interesting ways. And I was also wondering if they were going to create melee units, which brings me back to the point I was originally trying to talk about. So like how they're like, oh man, we really want to give you some like people something to do, and not just create to for creation's sake.
Mhm.
And so like they want to add in monster forts. Well, I mean,
Mhm.
the idea they're currently exploring is monster forts, and so they're thinking that it might be sort of like the Nether in like you have to build a portal and then you get to
Mhm.
go. And they don't know what the rewards would be for like destroying, but it's basically would be the reverse. So where the monsters are attacking me, I then could go and attack the monsters.
That would be cool.
And so I'd have to use all of my resources and build up this huge infrastructure to train an army. And I have to train this army and then send them out to um, invade and destroy these monster forts. They don't know like what the monster forts are going to do. You know what the reward is? There obviously should be a reward for doing this, and like they need to be part of like the progression. But what that actually is, like obviously they don't know. It's just the idea that we had, and it might. Apparently, they kind of got rid of the Gilder idea. I thought the Gilder idea was a very good idea, and like the monster fort
Hmm.
idea might go away too. I mean, I would like to
Do all
see.
the
I like to see some like more technology and like why just stop at the printing press? Why not keep going? Like why can't we just go industrial age on them, right?
yeah,
Cause global warming and then have to deal with flooding. Um,
right. Exactly. That's a game called Eco.
but I mean,
There's
I
a
don't.
there's a voxel game where like you have to like you have to build stuff to like advance to like you have to advance in technology to destroy like a asteroid that's gonna hit like the planet. But at the same time you have to like balance like your resource use and stuff so that you like don't like over overdo it.
Yeah,
So there's like pollution mechanics and there's like population mechanics for the animals. So you can like hunt deer to like extinction and then you don't have like any more meat.
just in case. Sometimes when I start digging, and it bites me right in the ass.
What does?
The digging because they end up digging so low that the zombies find a pathway into my base, and then like I'll be building something, and that's the thing I know. Like a zombie has like or like a construction a colonist construction worker has been killed by a zombie. I was like, what the hell? Where do they get in? Oh, because I was digging. Do I have enough linen to make a glider? I do not. I told them to produce like 300 linen, so I have a huge surplus. But I think part of the problem is they're also trying to make clothes, which is a luxury good. So they get paid, and they don't have enough. They don't have enough. They don't have enough flax to make how much. I don't have any stockpile. I think it's probably because of the fact that we're making this undershirt, which takes like 5 linen under. I should probably just tell them not to. Maybe I could do this. But I'm scared to do that. I should probably just do this. Because they want to make these. They want to make these shirts so they can give like. Because it's luxury good. It gets me points, but it's also another important. Which reminds me, I need to spend my points. Here's the luxury the lobsters. Net. Oh wow!
Ooh, baby.
Give me all that. Give me all that money.
Get all that lobster, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I gotta get some food real quick.
Okay. All my luxury goods run out. Oh. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Shit, shit, shit. Somewhere over the rainbow. Way outside. Oh wow. Okay, I think it. Oh crap. No, my farms are fine. They're not exposed. Oh. Hold on. I need stone brick for this. Wait, what am I thinking? No, this isn't where I don't want them to have a straight line. They have to come in and turn right. So this is actually going to be wall. Whoa. Okay. Where did he come from? Where did you guys come from? Oh, no! Oh, damn it. No. I need to upgrade my banner before I move on to that. Okay, I think I'll stop for tonight.